into our cardboard, which we do every week. So I just did a whole bunch of it. That there is what I shredded down. It doesn't capture every bit of it, so sometimes we'll have to re-shred. And again, as with the plastic, we just have to be very judicious, and it doesn't have a screen, so we're not going to get fine particles, but we're using this for compost with food waste, so it doesn't have to be shredded so fine. It's always better the more it's shredded. I got to go one piece at a time, or it will gum up the machine. And down the bottom you can see it does get kind of gummed up, so that's a problem, and we'll have to deal with that afterwards. But as long as I do a piece at a time, I'm usually okay. It's hard to hold the phone and break it apart, so let me see if I can put this phone down here. So I'm going to have to, these will gum up the machine, so you do have to put in the labor to undo the cardboard and to tear it into pieces. You can't just dump it in there. This may work, we'll see. Let's see now. Just like a paper shredder, so there we go. And yeah, little bits like that. But what we're doing is radically reducing volume so that we can do other things with our residuals, so to speak, right? This one's got to be, let me put this down. This one's got to be broken apart. And because it has plastic wrap on it that I don't want in the compost, I got to remove the plastic wrap. Or what I do with boxes that have a lot of plastic is I grind them up with the plastic, because for my Trashcrete, paper, cardboard isn't going to interfere with the ability of the cement, the Portland cement, to bind and make the Trashcrete. So if I don't want to spend all that time removing the plastic, then I will just put it into the plastic fraction and have bits of paper. That's just fine. Same thing with the labels on the bottles, the paper plastic labels. When we crush our glass, it goes into the Trashcrete just fine. But if I can remove stuff that doesn't have any plastic on it, then I'm happy to put that into the shredder for the compost. And I think that micro remediation and phytoremediation, soil microbes, will take care of any contaminants that are in the inks and things of that nature. So we're not too worried about that. This, of course, has a lot of plastic on it. This side does not, so I can take that. But this is kind of covered in plastic, so it's going to go to be shredded with plastics. This also has a label. That's fine. So that's what you have to deal with. And the reason China is not accepting America's garbage in their Project Green Sword is because ours is all contaminated. So it's not worth the labor, especially now that slave labor is being eliminated in China and there's a growing middle class. Nobody wants to spend their time at a low wage or no wage doing this. So we've got to do it ourselves. But I found that this ability to use it for Trashcrete obviates that. I don't have to clean it up at all. So I'm only cleaning up bits of it that I want to put into the compost. That's my goal. Because I want compost, and compost costs. So stuff I've cleaned off. There it goes. Swallowed. And that'll be my compost there. So, as I said, the parts that still have tape and plastic will go into another plastic run and will become part of our Trashcrete, like that. So we've got the plastic fraction and we've got the cardboard and paper fraction. And so it looks like I'm done, except I have to run this backwards to clean it up. So let me get there. And it does get jammed going backwards with the cardboard. So You have to stop and run. And hit reverse. And it gets stuck again. Hit reverse and run. So hit stop, reverse, run. Push forward okay, but that's because underneath here, as we're doing the cardboard tends to get stuck a bit, as you can see. So that's what. Oh yes, hello. Who was asking? Saying yes, I'm from the classification rap. That's true. I am T.H. Culhane, KCPOFGS, KCPOFGS. That is Kingdom Found Class Certified Images feature. The KCPOFGS. Tell me where do we fit in? Speak to the best. Kingdom Phylum Class Order Family Genus. That was 1989. I was a lot younger then. Now we're just going about recycling and trying to make sure that we don't have garbage here. Okay, that's still stuck. So I need to run it forward. Still, it clears out. Still stuck. Stop, forward. Yeah, so that's okay. Let me see. Oh, another. So this is. Oh, I just see here. Live chat. There were some messages here that I didn't see. Live chat. So this is sheep. That's so cool. I mean, say, really, in your biology test. I'm so glad to hear that, sheep. That really gladdens me. That really makes my evening here in Florida. Now I've taken my science teaching to another level. I don't give tests anymore. I made those classification rap and other biology melodic mnemonic songs because I wanted to find more efficient ways, more fun ways to memorize material, but then quickly realized that there's no point in memorizing stuff. After all, we've got computers and AI and mobile phones, and we're connected to the World Wide Web. Why memorize anything? Have faith that when you do stuff often enough, long enough, and with enough passion and interest, you will memorize it. You'll take away what you need so that you can go into conversations, so you can go into the job, and you can do stuff. Like I know all 7 types of plastic, number 1 PETE, number 2 HDPE, number 3 PVC, number 4 LDPE, number 5 polypropylene, number 6 polystyrene, number 7 other. Why do I know these things? And why do I know that PLA is polyelectroacrylic acid? Why? Because I work on plastic recycling here, and day in and day out, I memorize stuff without having to memorize it. If you have to memorize it, then you're probably doing it for the wrong reason, probably for some poor teacher who's making you memorize. And then using melodic mnemonics, using rap and song and poetry, it's all great, but why? Why do you have to know Kingdom, Phylum, Class, Order, Family, Genus, Species? I mean, really? Why? I mean, how's it going to help you in life? So memorization, I think, and I was an actor. I went to the British American Drama Academy in Oxford and London, and I acted in a lot of plays. I was in a Hasty Pudding show at Harvard, and I never had to study my lines. I just had to inhabit the role. It's called method acting from Stanislavski. I just had to be the character and think, what would the character say? And then I would read the script in context, and then it would stick. And it wasn't a lot of labor. Memorization comes when you need it. And there's a lot of things that probably you remember the lyrics to all sorts of songs and poems that you really love, and you didn't expend any effort. They just come to you. And that's why we invented melodic mnemonics, because we knew that if we took the biology lessons and we put them to music and you sang along with them, your brain, body, soul would take on those rhymes and those ideas. But really, it's not. We don't teach that way anymore. We just stopped giving quizzes and exams completely. And what we do instead is we have students do hands-on things, do experiments, argue. Argument's great. We do the Socratic method of dialogue, the Platonic Maieutic method of midwifing ideas into existence. And by doing that, we memorize all we need to, and we know how to look stuff up if we don't have it. We have a phone right in our pocket. So, yeah, but thank you very much for bringing that up to me, because we sure are, we've come a long way since 1989 when we made that. But I'm glad it helped you when you were in that brutal, awful situation, that place called school, which is really a dictatorship run by an authority called that is making you do nonsensical things. I've been teaching, I guess, for 35 years, and I will never subject any of my students to that horrendous enslavement of the mind and that kind of discipline and punish authoritarian cult environment ever again. That was a pure joy. I teach at the University of South Florida. I teach graduate school, and I teach undergrads at the Mercer University in New York. And I also conduct trips abroad, like we're going to Medellin, Colombia, the sustainable city, the green city, again this spring break, and then go and train high school teachers and work with high school students and middle school students here at the Roosevelt Interactive Science Center every week. And yeah, no quizzes, no exams, no deadlines. It's always lifelines, not deadlines. We want people to have a lifeline to a better future, not a deadline. How hard is that? So we've changed a lot, but thank you very much for calling that to me, and God bless you. I'm going to sign off now because my cardboard has been shred, my plastic is shred. I still have to take these bottle caps and do them. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I can change this around. So let me turn off the shredder here, and let me change over the cord here. Oops, there we go. Put that in there. This to the 240 volt socket. You learn a lot when you do this stuff. All right, and then we'll turn this on. Because we have these shredders and grinders and granulators, we have no garbage at all. We have a food grinder, the incinerator that grinds up all of our organic residuals, and it goes into the biodigester to produce cooking fuel for our barbecues and hot water. We've got it for the compost. So 100% of our organic material, also called food waste, are eliminated here and turned into fuel and fertilizer, clean, healthy, and safe. And then all the other garbage gets granulated and shred. The cardboard, as I was saying earlier, that goes into a place where we manufacture soil for the Florida environment. And then the plastic shred goes into a mix of Portland cement and glass crush, because we have glass crusher as well. It crushes it into sand, and we use that glass crush and our plastic with Portland cement, and we make paving stones, and we make sculptures of a giant black bear and a giant gopher tortoise with a panther scene. So we use it as sculpting and construction materials. We don't have any garbage, which is super cool to not have any garbage. So there we're done grinding that, and then the residual is this really good material as aggregate to go into our trashcrete. Instead of using concrete, we just buy the Portland cement. Wish we had a solution for that. So we put that into the Portland cement, and then we make all sorts of things that we can not have to go and spend money on. And it's made out of trash, so we have no trash. So that's what science can do if we learn science and apply it. If we just memorize it for an exam, God help us. Anyway, bye-bye. Thank you so much.